In January 2018, Lumiere London, the 4-day or rather 4-night Festival of Light, returned to the English capital after a 2-year gap. The second outing for this stunning event proved to be much bigger, far better, and definitely brighter than before, with a greater number of projections and installations featuring at the festival than in 2016. Those that were lucky enough to enjoy the first festival 2 years ago will recognise some of the pieces. The mesmerising live aquarium housed inside a red telephone box proved to be just as popular as it was 2 years ago. Its welcome return allowed me to recycle the tweet, hook, phone line and sinker, which got even fewer retweets than in 2016. There was also Julian Opie's demonstration on how to walk slowly in London, another recycled joke there, and the most popular benches in the West End, once again proving neon impossible to capture without anyone sitting on them. That's a line I haven't used before. Westminster Abbey was transformed once again by Patrice Warrener's kaleidoscopic projection on the iconic north entrance to the building, with a new, separate yet equally beautiful illumination on the west entrance as well. In no way to rival the Church of England, Westminster Cathedral just down the road joined in with this gorgeous rose window, made from recycled plastic bottles and powered by bicycles, pedalled by volunteers who for their efforts received their reward in a heavenly glow. Other interactive pieces had visitors creating music as well as light. Michael Davis's hypnotic Lumiphonium allowed Londoners to take their Brexit frustrations out on the 100 suspended chime bars making up the musical sculpture. This huge cube near Good Street had visitors creating lightning bolts in the rain, while visitors to South Moulton Street were playing in Seesaw Minor. Around Carnaby Street, visitors could walk under a light installation. Along the South Bank, near the Oxo Tower, visitors could walk through a light installation. And in St James's, visitors could even be inside a light installation, by having their photo taken at one end and having it appear in a bell jar at the other. That isn't me, by the way. Regent Street was once again used as a huge projection screen, exploring the movement of time and space. Piccadilly once again hosted pieces created by famous artists like Tracey Emin and inspired by famous artists like Henri Matisse, as seen in this romantic animation aptly projected on the front of the Royal Academy. Mayfair reopened some of its private square gardens to the festival visitors, and Fitzrovia was nostalgic and playful, recreating Pong for those like myself old enough to remember playing it. King's Cross dabbled with scale, making the big people feel small, the small people feel big, and even taking to the skies when there was no more space available to exhibit at ground level. The large-scale pieces were not just kept for North London though. Trafalgar Square had this ballooning marvellous display which was enhanced by the wet weather and surrounding fountains. It was also witness to one of a small trend of religious-themed pieces in the festival. Less Stairway, More Stepladder to Heaven glowed brightly from the top of St Martin in the Fields. Across the river, a raspberry ripple crucifix hung from the side of the Royal Festival Hall, and at Oxford Circus, a huge animated globe stopped many visitors in their tracks, compelling them to throw their hands in the air to give worship to the object. I took advantage of the road closures and paid my respects by laying flat in the middle of what is usually one of the busiest junctions in the city to capture this serene sphere from a different angle. The environment was another running theme in the festival. Prime Minister Theresa May wannabes could run through this lollipop wheat field as summer changed to winter in King's Cross, whilst it was well and truly autumn in Fitzrovia, with a spot of light rain, and possibly a rare spotting of a member from Cirque Bijou's umbrella project. Celebration of the environment also came with the message to protect the environment, with an array of fabulous chandeliers made from recycled plastic bottles, lighting up parts of Mayfair, South Bank and King's Cross. Wildlife also featured predominantly in the festival, with a not-so-secret garden taking over Leicester Square, full of delightful forest creatures, and upstaging the Hollywood stars arriving for the latest red carpet premiere. I won't say who nor what film it was, but let's just say the illuminations will live longer in the memory. The collective noun for a group of flamingos is a flamboyance. No word could be more apt to describe this collection soaring across the crowds of Chinatown. Although they were incredibly graceful, they did seem a little bad-tempered, pecking at visitors who got too close and tried to take a photo of them. I kept my distance. Another feathered creature in the festival was not so much creating mayhem, but was causing confusion for some visitors, who, despite the immortalised location and the fact Frank Sinatra's version of the song was blaring from a speaker nearby, few still could not make the connection that this installation was clearly a nightingale. Further confusion was caused with Simon Corder's Bow 1 by the Oxo Tower and Bow 3 in South Audley Street, leaving some visitors, including myself, wondering whatever happened to Bow 2. And one woman was heard asking whether Ala Manawi's moving installation paying tribute to Syrian refugees was actually a tribute to the late Saint star, Sir Roger Moore. South Bank was a new location for the festival, allowing the National Theatre to make its brutalist concrete facade a bit more beautiful, the Hayward Gallery to show off its new chromatic clock roof, and Upper Ground to prove it is the life and soul of any festival. The tunnel under Waterloo Station seemed to be an inspired location for Emma Allen's thought-provoking living canvases, yet a space where graffiti artists can freely create and express opinions without fear of arrest implied that one of her films was showing the effect that the aerosol gas filling the air from all the spray cans was having on visitors' brains. Although the festival is now over and may not return to London until 2020, there are some permanent pieces that visitors to the city can enjoy at any time, including the King's Cross subway tunnel, Nathaniel Rakow's abstract collection on display at the Universal Building along Goods Way, the Sea Containers building by Blackfriars Bridge, and the delightfully bizarre IFO in front of King's Cross Station, where visitors can experience life as a psychedelic canary, and who wouldn't? And in case anyone was wondering how all the lights were kept on during the festival, one can always take a trip to Ganton Street.